Welcome to Module 6, Lesson 3. We're talking about compensation, incentives, and retention strategies because, man, it costs way more money to hire new people than keep people on.
That is right. And every time there's a hidden cost in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the hidden cost is that time that you didn't have them or you're having to pay to find the new person, right?
And then train the new person.
And then train them while you're paying them, right? Yeah.
So paying your team well, I think, is a huge part of this. Why is it important to offer fair and competitive pay?
Yeah, I think that it's all about retention, right? And the more fair that you are, you want to know your demographic, right? If everybody in your neighborhood is paying $20 for a particular role, then you should probably fall somewhere around that as well. Because no matter how you look at it, this is a job for some people. Yep. And you need money to live, right? And so all of those things have to be kind of on par to keep people around.
And what are some extra benefits that team members really appreciate?
Yeah, I think one benefit if you're starting up that you may be able to give is paid time off, right? And you don't realize how important that is until you don't have any, right? And when you don't have any paid time off and you go on a vacation and you miss 2 days and your paycheck is really small after that, it's tough. And so if you can offer that, that's great. Start with something small. You don't have to give a week the very first time. Maybe give a couple of days and say, hey, when you take those days, you need to be very strategic with them, right? Because you're a small practice. You can't afford to have a bunch of people leaving at the same time. Another way is that you can, if you have certain services that you can give them, whether it's a discount on treatment, right, or whitening. People love whitening. In my office, we do Botox, so the ladies get Botox for free, right? So that's an incentive, right? That's one thing that maybe doesn't cost me a ton of money, but it's a huge benefit.
Yeah, it's just like if you work at a restaurant, most of the time you eat for free
That's
there.
right.
That's the same kind of thing that you're doing here at the practice. So let's talk about bonuses and incentives. How can bonuses help your team work harder and smarter?
Yeah, so you're gonna reward the behaviors that you want, right? And so whether that is showing up on time, which shouldn't be an issue, but showing up on time, if that's big to you, then maybe give an incentive. If everybody shows up on time for the next month, we have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever, something like that. That's a good incentive. I like bonuses on things that make the practice better, right? That make the practice more profitable, that make the practice run more efficiently. That's what I like to bonus on because then it brings everybody up as well.
Yeah, and it goes back to if you're bonusing the things that you want to see over and over again, that also ties into your unique value proposition again.
That's right. You'll find that this whole entire course is interwoven.
It's like a tapestry over here. So what is one example of a bonus that you've used in your practice?
So we do one that's pretty standard is we give a bonus per patient that schedules a new appointment, right, and shows up. Mm-hmm. So basically we have a number, let's just call it 20, that is our baseline. Anything above 20, each person that schedules an appointment, that the person comes in for a new patient appointment, is $5, right? And what that does is anytime the phone's ringing, somebody's going to grab that thing and they're going to say, Elevation Orthodontics, how may we help? And so they're really active. Like nobody lets the phone ring at my office, which is great because if the phone's ringing and no one's answering it, I can't get new patients in, right? Yeah. So that's one thing that we do. We also do a treatment coordinator case acceptance rate. The higher it is, we have tiers, and that just incentivizes her just to close on the cases.
I know with startups, anyone that's coming out might even be buying a practice. Money is tight.
Yeah.
So what are some non-money rewards, incentives that you could be putting into your practice?
I think one of the most underrated ones is giving them like additional training, sending them to seminars, sending them to a private session with a coach, right? So it's building up their skill set, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not a monetary exchange. Yes, it may cost you some money, but that can be part of the practice expenses. It's a little bit different than the monetary change of hands, right?
Yeah, because again, you're boosting the bottom line in the long run. It might be a lag indicator.
That's right.
But once that happens, you're going to see more case acceptance rates and actually, things going on there. So let's talk about keeping a great team. What helps team members feel happy and motivated to stay?
That's a great question. So they have to feel safe, they have to feel protected, and they have to feel valued, right? Those are just the core things that they have to have. What I like to do is I like to try to, take them out to outings, whether it's an event. There's stuff that's local that can happen. We have like this outside movie theater thing that's really cool. So we give them tickets to that so they can go to, and it just builds more camaraderie. It builds more a sense of unity, which continues to all row the boat in the same direction.
I think a even simple one is when someone does something well, you praise them.
Oh, you got to.
We do that at HIP a lot. We have literally a channel, just wins channel, where people get shout out all the time, and I think that is such a huge motivator. It's like, oh, my hard work is being recognized, and you're not doing it to give them an ego, but you're doing it to say, hey, thank you for doing that. Keep doing it. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
And then everybody else is like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
So they start,
That's right.
Showing up early or whatever is the thing that you're calling out. So another thing that, we even do at HIP is like birthdays. Like when you have a birthday, you get a lunch. Like you get to order like whatever you want, and the team comes together and we all just have this like camaraderie, and it's an awesome time.
Yeah, I think that's great. And also celebrating like people's anniversaries, right? So work anniversaries, those are really good times to celebrate that person and show that you see them, you see their effort, and that you kind of build that camaraderie.
With team lunches, you could do it when you hit a goal. Like it might be a smaller goal where you're not getting the bonuses, but it's another way to say, hey, guys, y'all are crushing it. Thank y'all for doing it. Here's a little reward.
Well, my love language is food. So it works out really well for me.
So how does regular check-ins help everyone grow?
We have those 12-week check-ins, right? And so basically what that does is it gives us time to review one another. We do peer reviews, which I think is very important. That holds everybody accountable, but also since it's a peer review, each one of you guys are looking at it from their perspective, which is really good. And it helps to motivate them to continue to do better. And they also know that everyone's looking at what they do, right? So it inherently just kind of brings them up.
It's kind of like Survivor. Everybody gets a vote.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So let's talk about mistakes to avoid. Why shouldn't you give the same reward to everybody across the board, regardless of their performance?
Yeah, I only believe in performance-based rewards, right? And because if you don't, it brings the morale down. You're giving rewards to people who don't deserve it, right? And so I say there's nothing that makes me happier than to give you guys bonuses, because that means you have done exceptional work in whatever field that is. And I have no problem with that. And when you say that, then you're performance-based merit, right? And that's how we need to operate.
So what happens when a team gets burned out?
So one of the things about burnout, you want to take into consideration, you want to make sure that everyone understands what the overall goal of the practice is, right? It's not necessarily just to survive. We want to have a mission. We want to make sure that we're staying on that mission. And a lot of times that mission is more than just making profits. It's helping the community. It's giving back to people. And once you start to think about it in that context, I think that will really help with burnout.
Yeah, and it's not just, we're padding the doctor's pocketbook or whatever. That mentality can creep in when people aren't actually bought into a vision.
Yeah, and so for instance, we do this thing where twice a year we go out into the community and I ask the ladies at work, I say, what is important to you guys? And this time they've picked, we're going to help a animal shelter. And that's something that they value. So that is something that will help get us away from the mundane of us going and seeing patients every day. We get outside of the walls and get to see something and do it for a good cause. I think that those things really help for burnout.
Yeah, I like that. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is Module 6. We'll see you in the next one.